exists. This Risalah is something a little bit down that line, that the whole existence is of Allah. Now, it doesn't mean that Allah has incarnated into all beings. Some followers of Ibn al-Arabi went down that route and they said that everything is Allah. Someone made a claim that ma fil jubbati illallah. There's nothing in this jubba but Allah, meaning I am Allah. This is worse than the Christian Aqidah. Christians believe that Allah came only in one person, Jesus, and you believe that He is in the whole creation. So that's not what it means. Hazrat Maulana Abul Hasan Ali Nadwi Rahmatullah discussed this in Tarikh Dawatu Azimat. And he said that, the Sufis, they should have said Wahdatul Shuhud instead of Wahdatul Wujud. Then the masla would not be that bad. Wahdatul Shuhud means Wahdatul Mushahada. That they can see everything in everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning Allah's qudrat, Allah's power, Allah's wisdom, Allah's hikmat is present in everything. Wahdatul Shuhud, Wahdatul Mushahada. You see a nice, beautiful peacock spreading out its feathers. You say, wow, subhanallah. Allah in there, meaning Allah's qudrat in there. Not physically in that peacock. You see a nice flower, say subhanallah. So Allah's qudrat is in there. So anything you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They get to that stage where in everything. This is where Mufti Mahmud Saab's nazam comes. Maine tumhe dekha hai. Maine tumhe dekha hai. I have seen you. I have seen you in the mountains. I have seen you in the waterfalls. I have seen you in Niagara Falls. I have seen you here. I have seen you there. I have seen you in Ghazali, Razi, Bukhari. I have seen you in Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i. I have seen you here. I have seen you there. Pura wo nazam usme hai. I have seen you, meaning your mushahada, your presence, your qudrat, your power, your wisdom, your hikmat, the way you work things. You are wonderful. You do wondrous work. So this Risalah is a little bit down that line of Risalah with Tawheed. That we get to see that there is nothing but Allah. Kuch hai hi nahi siwai Allah ke. Everything is Allah's. So we are reading, we read up to number 11. ما دمت أنت معك أمرناك فإذا فنيت عنك توليناك وما تولاهم إلا بعد فنائهم ما دمت أنت فأنت مريد فإذا أفناك عنك فأنت مراد. As long as you are yourself, you are a seeker. But when you annihilate yourself from yourself, then you are the one who will be sought. आगे चलिए नंबर 12 से पढ़ना है आज. अल यकीनुल अदवम फी गैबतिका अनका व वजूदिका बिही फकम बैनमा यकूनु बि अमरिही व बैनमा यकूनु बिही. तर्जुमा पढ़ो.
The most lasting certainty is in your absence from you and your presence with Him. What a big difference there is between what is at His command and what is because of Him.
What is because of Him, what is with Him, what is through Him. So the yaqeenul adwam, daim, dawam se adwam, the most everlasting certainty is that you are ghaib from yourself. You are absent from yourself. And your existence is with Him. Now, what a great difference between something that is because of His hukam and something that is because of Him, through Him, by Him. Chaliye. Next one is number 13. ये 50 statements हैं खाली. إن كنت قائما بأمره خضعت لك الأسباب وإن كنت قائما به تضعضعت لك الأكوان. पढ़ो तर्जुमा.
If you are at his command, worldly means will be subservient to you. And if you are because of him, the whole universe will be submissive to you.
ये तर्जुमा थोड़ा कसूर है. इन कुंत काइमन बिअमरिही, काइमन का तर्जुमा नहीं किया है इसमें. If you are standing upright with his ahkam and commands, then all the means will bow down to you and humble themselves before you. And if you are standing upright with him, then all the kaun and outside world will humble itself before you. If you are standing with his commands, doing everything he's told you to do, then the means will humble before you. Asbab, everything will come into existence, everything will be made easy. But if you are standing upright with him, with Allah, then the whole kainat will humble before you. Then you say something and it will happen. Even without your saying, just your thinking, and that thing will happen. Like in Jannah, you think of eating something and the fruit will straight away come to you. You don't even have to demand for it. So when you get to that stage, then the kainat will humble itself before you. You think of something and it will happen straight away. Like Mashayikh, Hazrat Shaykh Rahmatullahi alayhi, once some fruit was brought to Hazrat. It was rare fruit. उस सीजन में नहीं थी, आउट ऑफ सीजन. तो हजरत शेख रहमतुल्लाह अलैह को अच्छा लगा, माशाल्लाह ये कितना अच्छा है, ऐसा हजरत ने ऐसे कहा. अब दूसरे दिन उसकी फ्रूट की पेटियों की पेटियां शुरू हो गई. हजरत तो बस तफुल्ला, मैंने कहा वो जुमला कह दिया, आई शुड हैव सेड दैट. तो अल्लाह पाक जो है वो कायनात को मुसख्खर कर देते हैं, वो ऑटोमेटिक चीजें आ जाती हैं फिर. So when you're standing with Allah, Allah is holding you upright, then the whole kainat come under your command and submit to you. आगे चलो. अव्वलुल मकामात अस्सब्रु अला मुरादिही व औसतुहा अर्रिदा बिमुरादिही व आखिरुहा अन तकूना बिमुरादिही. पढ़ो.
The first of the stations is patience in obedience to his will. The one in the middle is contentment with his wishes. And the last is that you come to be in accordance with his purpose.
The first among the maqamat is as-sabru ala muradihi, to be patient on what Allah wills for you. Allah जो तुम्हारे लिए चाहे उस पर तुम सब्र करो, ये पहला स्टेप है, फर्स्ट स्टेप, फर्स्ट मकाम. और ये इन्होंने तर्जुमा औसतुहा का सही नहीं किया. द मीडियम एंड मिडल स्टेज इज अ रिदा बिमुरादिही, मीनिंग यू राइज फ्रॉम सब्र टू रिदा. दैट इफ अल्लाह wills something for you, you're not only doing sabr on it, you are happy and you are pleased with it. If this is Allah's will, then this is the way I want it. I have no objection, I am happy with it. Even if calamity आ गई, मुसीबत आ गई, बीमारी आ गई, खतरनाक बीमारी हो गई, अल्लाह बचाए, अल्लाह हिफाजत करे, लेकिन अल्लाह यही चाहते हैं तो कोई नहीं, हम भी उस पर खुश हैं. तो सब्र से आगे खुश होना उसके ऊपर. और वह आखिरुहा अन तकूना बिमुरादिही. And the highest stage in the maqamat is that your existence is with his murad, with his will. That you only exist because of his will. You are alive because of him. You are going around, you are doing things because his murad and his irada is carried out in you. Meaning you are totally under the command control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You become like al-mayyit bayna yaday al-ghasil, a dead person who's being tossed around by the ghasil, the bather, he has no irada of his own. He can't turn around himself. It's the ghasil who turns him around. So when you get to that higher stage, after sabr, after rida, then your own existence is according to the irada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Aage, number 15. Al-ilmu tariqul amal. Wal-amal tariqul ilm. Baro?
Practical knowledge, ilm, is the way of action, and action is the way of knowledge.
अल्लाह अकबर, क्या कह दिया? सूफी लोग भी अजीब हैं. अब देखो, अल इल्मु तरीकुल अमल वल अमल तरीकुल इल्म, क्या समझे इससे? Ilm is the root of amal. When you have ilm, then you should practice on your ilm. Everything you know, halal, haram, jaiz, najaiz, right? Faraz, wajib, sunnat, mustahab, makruh tahrimi, makruh tanzih, khilaf awla. When you know all this, then you will practice. So ilm is the road and route to amal and practice. And amal is the road of ilm. क्या मतलब? When you practice on what you know, Allah will give you ilm of those things which you didn't know. So your amal is the way to your ilm. This brings the hadith to mind. Man amila bima alima, awrathahu Allahu ilma ma lam ya'lam. Whoever acts on what he knows, then Allah will give him miras of those things which he didn't know. And this ilm is called ilm wahabi, ilm ladunni. This is in Surah Kahf, وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ مِن لَدُنَّا ilma. And this ilm comes with taqwa, piety, buzurgan deen. Now, all this which he is writing over here, right, is ilham from Allah. Because he is a wali of Allah, he is practicing and he is on the highest maqamat of practice. That's why Allah is inspiring him with these beautiful statements, short, succinct words without oceans of meanings. So, al-ilmu tariqul amal. Ilm, you acquire ilm first, then you can practice properly. So, knowledge is the road to practice. And practice is the road to knowledge. The more you practice, the more your knowledge will increase. And if you lack practice, then you will lack ilm as well. So you get that ilm wahabi, ladunni, from Allah by practicing and by taqwa and piety and fear of Allah. Chaliye. Number 16. وَالْعِلْمُ طَرِيقُ الْمَعْرِفَةِ وَالْمَعْرِفَةِ طَرِيقُ الْكَشْفِ وَالْكَشْفِ طَرِيقُ الْفَنَاءِ. Ji.
And knowledge is the way of experience, and experience is the way of unveiling, and unveiling is the way of extinction.
इल्म तर्जुमा मारिफत का सही नहीं किया है. क्या किया है तर्जुमा? एक्सपीरियंस क्या है यार? एक्सपीरियंस वो तजुर्बा का तर्जुमा है.
Recognition.
Ilm is the road of gnosis. Ma'rifat ilahiyya. When you have ilm, then you will get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Arafa ya'rifu irfanan, ma'rifatan, to recognize, to know, but not just knowing like we know superficial things. The knowing goes to another level which is called gnosis. Really, you know who Allah is, and you are very close to Him. You know you do everything for His sake. That high stage of ma'rifat. With ilm, you can get to that stage of ma'rifat, gnosis. And ma'rifat is tariqul kashf. Kashf ka tarjuma kya kiya?
Unveiling.
Unveiling. When you get Allah's ma'rifat, then you get kushuf. Things open up before you. Kashf. Right? The reality of things. Many times, some Buzurgan-e-Deen have lots of kashf. And they say it as well. But other Buzurgan deen get kashf time to time. Sometime when some matter is big, then Allah opens it before them. This is happening, this is coming. Be careful, be wary, take precautions. That's kashf. Hazrat Shah Abdul Qadir Raipuri Rahmatullah was in Hajj and they were in Mina. And Hazrat Shah Sahab said to everyone, Chalo jaldi, pack karo, pack your saman, belongings, let's move on. So everybody said, why is Hazrat rushing? Jaldi karo na, main keh raha hu. And everybody start packing and rushing and they left. And suddenly, hawa and storm started. And they had left and get to the next destination before all that storm came. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened up to them that this is coming, get ready, move on. So when you have ma'rifat, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you kashf and opens up things before them. And sometimes this kashf is da'im, continuous. This is why our Hazrat used to say that Hazrat Sheikh Zakaria Rahmatullah alayhi used to get lots of kashf. Their heart is like a mirror. And in mirror you can see things, yourself, other things, reflection. When you're driving, you can see the other cars behind you in the mirror, side mirrors. And all lots of cars, persons, human beings. So their heart is like that mirror and things open up in their hearts before them. So our Hazrat said, when we used to go to the majlis of Hazrat Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi, we would be really scared and we would just keep reading, Ya Rabbi Sallim Sallim, Ya Rabbi Sallim Sallim. Oh Allah, please don't conceal my guna and sins to Hazrat. Don't expose and reveal my gunas to Hazrat, conceal my faults in the presence of Hazrat. So Mashayikh used to get this kashf. Hazrat Shaykh is in his room and he's lying down and he's asking, what is Talha doing? What is Mufti Mahmud doing? What is Maulana Munawwar Hussain doing? Where is Maulana Abdul Jabbar? He knows everything but he's still asking. So ये कश्फ है जाता है. When Mashayikh in their later on in their lives, time लगता है, पापड़ बेलना पड़ता है. अब ये जुलेबी चाहे कि अभी मुझे कशफ हो जाए, अभी कशफ नहीं होगा. You have to work your socks off. उसके बाद जब उस दर्जे को पहुंचेंगे, then you get that कैफियत. Because first is ilm, and then ilm will bring you ma'rifat, gnosis, and gnosis will bring you kashaf. And wal kashfu tariqul fana. When you get those kushuf and things open up before you, that's when you get that stage of fanaiyat. Fana fillah. Fanaiyat. You annihilate yourself in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You get out of yourself. You're no longer yourself. Your existence is with Allah. Yeah. Otherwise you are non-existent. And all you are doing is for the sake of Allah. So it gets time to get to that stage. Chaliye. Number 17. Ma صلحت لنا وفيك بقية لسوانا فإذا حولت السوى أفنيناك عنك فصلحت لنا فأودعناك سرنا. ये सलाहता तुमने लिखा ज़बर इस पर.
जी मैंने लिखा, because they translate you have not become.
हाँ चलिए पढ़ो. हाँ माँ सलाहत लना वफ़ी का बक़ियतुन लिसिवाना. अच्छा ये माँ नाफिया है, मैं मौसूला समझ रहा था. फ़इज़ा हव्वलत सिवा अफ़नैनाक अन्का फ़सलहत लना फ़अवदअनाक सिर्रना. पढ़ो.
You have not become fit for us as long as there is still within you any remnant of anything apart from us. So when you have set everything else aside, we shall render you extinct. You have now become fit for us, and we have entrusted you with our secret.
ما صلحت لنا وفيك بقية لسوانا. You will not be fit for us as long as within you is remnant of others besides us. Dunya, friends, hobbies, distractions, mobile, other stuff, family, wife, children. मोहब्बत करनी है लेकिन मोहब्बत दिल में नहीं, उन्हीं को मेन नहीं बनाना है इन चीज़ों को. As long as you have baqiyatun li siwana, things in your heart besides us, then you're not fit for us. فَإِذَا حَوَّلْتَ السِّوَى, when you get rid of that siwa, when you turn away from all besides us, then فَصَلَحْتَ لَنَا, you will become fit for us. Then when you become fit for us, فَأَوْدَعْنَاكَ سِرَّنَا, we will entrust you as an amanat and place in you the amanat of our secrets and our raz. We'll tell you our secrets. We'll reveal our secrets to you. Meaning, this is statement from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as though Allah is saying this. So, rid your heart from anything save Allah, and then you will be fit for Allah. Then Allah will place in your heart the secrets of reality and secrets of kaun and kainat. Chaliye. Number 18. إذا لم يبق عليك حركة لنفسك كمل يقينك وإذا لم يبق لك وجود عندك كمل توحيدك. पढ़िए.
When there does not remain with you any self-motivation, your certitude will be perfected. And when there does not remain any existence of yours, your tawheed, your realization and affirmation of oneness will be perfected.
ये इंदका का तर्जमा नहीं है. वजूदुन इंदका, when you have, there does not remain for you any existence with you, then your tawheed will be perfect. إذا لم يبقى حركة لنفسك كمل يقينه, when there is no movement of your ego with you, your yaqeen will be complete, perfect. Your nafs harkat, your nafs does not motivate you to do things. You are motivated by Allah. Allah's ahkam are motivating you. Allah said this, that's why I must do this. Nafs says something else, nah, I'm not going to do what my nafs is saying. So, when the harkat and movements of your nafs do not remain with you, then your yaqeen will be complete and perfect. Your yaqeen, certitude, certainty will be perfect. When your nafs is not the one which is moving you, you are moved by Allah and His commands. So, when there is no movement of your nafs with you, your yaqeen will be complete. There was this Hindu yogi. Now, he was in his religion on a high level. So he met one buzurg. He stayed in the company, sometimes they do. So he learned a few things from the buzurg. And then one day, the buzurg asked him, you know, you are of a very high stage. How did you get to this stage? And he said, my guru, my buzurg, my boss, my guru taught me that if you want to get to the highest stage, then do everything against your nafs. Your nafs tell you to eat, say I'm not eating. Nafs says go to sleep, I'm not sleeping. Nafs says go there, I'm not going. Go against your nafs. Then you will get to the highest stage. So he said, wow, that's good. He said, I always opposed my nafs, and now I've got to that stage that, you know, I can do things, I can see things. You know, kashf happens to me as well. So the buzurg caught him there. He said, okay, read Kalma-e-Shahadat. No, I'm not reading. Your nafs is saying don't read it. And your guru taught you to go against your nafs. I said, no, I'm not reading. No, you have to do what your guru told you to do. No, I'm not doing it. You have to do it. It's your own guru's teaching. So he said, all right. And he said, Kalma Shahadat. With certainty, yaqeen. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Now, because his nafs was pak, clean from the beginning. And when the Kalma Tawheed's Noor came in, he shot up like a rocket. Because, when the lantern is clean, the oil is clean, the string inside is clean, all you need is the matches. You put the match and it lights up, ignites. So his nafs was clean, his heart was clean. All he needed was that Noor of Iman. When he was given that Noor of Iman, and he attained the high stages of wilayat. And this is a rare case, but it was norm for the Sahaba. When they would come to the presence of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they had a sound heart, qalb salim, and Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam just invites them, they declare kalma shahadat, they get to that such a high stage that the awliya of the world cannot reach the stage of a sahabi. Because they were ignited by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The suhbat, the noor of suhbat is something which you can't get. So this is why Sahaba's ranking is the highest. This is what Shaykh is saying. إِذَا لَمْ يَبْقَ حَرَكَةٌ لِنَفْسِكَ. You are not moved by your nafs. And all your actions, you do it by the hukum of Allah. Then kamula yaqeen. Your yaqeen and certainty will be perfect. وَإِذَا لَمْ يَبْقَ لَكَ وُجُودٌ عِنْدَكَ كَمُلَ تَوْحِيدُ. When you have no existence of yours with you, then your tawheed will be perfect. When you annihilate yourself, you take yourself away. You feel that I am non-existence, I don't exist. It's Allah who exists. You ask Allah for everything. Allah, you do this for me. You have to do this for me. Please help me. And I am nothing. I rely on you. You have to do it for me. When you take yourself away and you have no existence and wujud of yourself, then your tawheed will be perfect. Then you will be regarded as proper muwahhid. Proper muwahhid. Hazrat Thanvi Rahmatullah Alayhi writes a story that this Buzurg was seen in a dream after his death. And the dreamer asked him, how are you, Hazrat? How did you fare in front of Allah? He said, Alhamdulillah, I'm in a good state. But I nearly slipped up. He said, what happened? He said, Allah asked me, what have you brought for me? And I was a bit big-headed. I said, I have brought a Tawheed. I have never committed any shirk and I have brought Tawheed for you. Allah said, you brought Tawheed for me. Ama tazkuru laylatal laban? Do you not remember the night of milk? One night you had raw milk and you could not digest it and you had a diarrhea, and in the morning you said this diarrhea is because of that raw milk. Ama tazkuru laylatal laban? Where did your Tawheed go that night? Meaning, whatever happened, even that illness was not from Laban, it was from me. This is when you have no wujud of yourself, then your tawheed will be complete. So in reality, that is also a bit of shirk with Allah. That you feel that it is these asbab who are doing this. It is musabbibul asbab who's doing everything. When you have that, إِذَا لَمْ يَبْقَ لَكَ وُجُودٌ عِنْدَكَ كَمُلَ تَوْحِيدُ. When there does not remain with you any existence of yours, that is when your tawheed will be perfect, complete. Without that, your tawheed cannot be perfect. तो ये जो सल्फी लोग तौहीद 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 बोलते रहते हैं ना, मस्जिद तौहीद, दारुत तौहीद, उनको तौहीद ही क्या समझ पड़े? तौहीद तो ये सूफी समझाते हैं. Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi Rahmatullahi Alayhi said about Tawheed, At-Tawheed, Ifradul Qadeem min al-Muhdath, to separate the Qadeem from the Muhdath, Qadeem from the Hadith, Allah's Dhat is Qadim. He is Al-Awwal, Qabla Kulli Shay. Al-Awwal wal-Akhir wal-Zahir wal-Batin. And He is totally different from the Hadith, the Makhluk. When you realize that Allah is Allah and Makhluk is Makhluk. He is Khaliq and here is Makhluk. He is Malik and we are all Mamluk. When you get to that stage, this is the pinnacle of Tawheed. This is the meaning of Tawheed. So he's saying over here, when you have no existence of yours with you, your whole reliance and connection and dependence is on Allah. That is when your Tawheed will become complete. Ibn al-Qayyim Rahmatullah Alayhi has written that according to the level of your Tawheed will be the level of your Tawakkul. The higher your Tawheed, the higher your Tawakkul. The lower your Tawheed, the lower your Tawakkul. So Tawakkul is also connected to Tawheed. When you believe in the Wahdaniyat of Allah and you get to that higher stage, recognizing, realizing that everything is with Allah, then your Tawakkul will be kamil and you will be relying upon Allah. No matter what happens, Allah does everything. Without Allah, nothing happens. So you have to have your strong Tawheed in order to get a strong Tawakkul, reliance, trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Chalo, 10 past 1 हो गए, 18 हो गए, अब 19 है, 20 है, पढ़ लें या रहने दें? तो लेडीज बयान भी है. Shh, quiet. 19. أهل الباطن مع اليقين وأهل الظاهر مع الإيمان فمتى تحرك قلب صاحب اليقين نقص يقينه متى لم يخطر له خاطر كمل يقينه ومتى تحرك قلب صاحب الإيمان بغير الأمر نقص إيمانه ومتى تحرك بالأمر كمل إيمانه. पढ़ो तर्जुमा.
The people of the inner, of batin, are with certainty, are with yaqeen. And the people of the outer are with faith, are with iman. So when the heart of the master of certainty is stimulated in response to anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his certainty is deficient. And when no notion ever occurs to him, his certainty is perfect. And when the heart of the master of faith is stimulated in response to anything other than the divine command, his faith is defective. And when it is stirred by the divine command, his faith is complete.
पता नहीं क्या कह रहे हैं. People are of two types, Ahlul Batin and Ahlul Zahir. Ahlul Batin are Ahlul Batin because of yaqeen, with yaqeen. They have that inner strength which strengthens them. And Ahlul Zahir of the apparent are with their faith, iman. So people who are only connected to Zahir have the iman. But people who have the inner batin, they have the yaqeen. Yaqeen is above iman. Strong faith, certainty. Certainly this is how it is. Now, when Ahlul Batin, who are Sahibul Yaqeen, his heart makes any movement itself, then his yaqeen reduces, as deficiency in there. And when there does not appear in his heart any thought, and he does not move and shake, then that's when his yaqeen will be perfect. On the other side, people of Zahir, Ahlul Zahir, who are Sahibul Iman, men of faith and Iman, Yaqeen, faith, when their heart moves with anything other than the command of Allah, without Allah's command, then the Iman will reduce and there will be deficiency in it. But when he only moves with Allah's hukam, that is when his Iman will be perfect and complete. There are closest meaning to it. समझ में आ गया? अहले यकीन, अहले बातिन, जो अहले यकीन है तो उनका दिल जो है वो खुद नहीं हिलता, अगर वो खुद हरकत करने लगे तो उनका यकीन कम हो जाएगा। लेकिन जब उनके दिल में कोई हरकत ना हो, तमाम उनके इरादे और ख़वातिर और थॉट्स ये अल्लाह ही की तरफ मुतवज्जे रहें, अल्लाह ही से वो मूव हो, तब उनका यकीन कंप्लीट होगा। और जो अहले ज़ाहिर हैं, साहिब ईमान हैं, वो अगर अल्लाह के अम्र के बग़ैर हिले हरकत करें तो उनका ईमान कम होगा, रिड्यूस हो जाएगा। और जब अल्लाह के हुक्म से हरकत करें कि अल्लाह ने जो हुक्म दिया है वो मैंने करना है, नमाज पढ़नी है, फ़र्ज़ पढ़ना है, सुन्नत पढ़ना है, नफिल पढ़नी है, रोज़ा रखना है, सदका देना है, अल्लाह के हुक्म से वो हिले, तब जाकर उनका ईमान कंप्लीट होगा। चलिए नंबर 20 पढ़ लो। मासियतु अहलिल यकीन कुफ्रुन व मासियतु अहलिल ईमान नक़्सुन। जी,
The sin of the people of certainty is unbelief, is kufr. And the sin of the people of faith is falling short.
ओ बाप रे बाप। मासियतु अहलिल यकीन कुफ्रुन, those who are of अहले बातिन, who reach that highest stage, their disobedience of Allah is not light, is kufr. Meaning, what is ma'asiyat? Deliberate, intentional violation of the command of Allah. Mistake, forgetfulness is not ma'asiyat. Ma'asiyat is where you deliberately, intentionally, like sometimes you are sitting, your mom says, "Mera namaz padh lo, namaz ka time ho gaya." I'm not praying. This is deliberate violation. My time is finishing. No, I'm not praying. I don't want to pray. So here, deliberate, intentional breaking, violating Allah's command. If it is done by Ahlul Batin, Ahlul Yaqeen, then it is kufr on their part. It is kufrun duna kufrin, Imam Bukhari said. It is a denial on their part. Rejection is severe, is huge. However, ma'asiyatu ahlil iman naqsun. Those who are just general public, ahlul zahir, ahlul iman, men of iman belief, if they disobey Allah and break His command, then that is deficiency on their part. This explains why Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in some hadiths said that tarku salat is kufr. Because when you got to that yaqeen stage, you become from ahlul batin, and then you leave namaz, then it's kufr on your part. But if it is from just general people, ahlul iman, it won't be kufr, it will be naqs. It will be deficiency and falling short in their deen. बस आगे नंबर चुप बहुत शोर करता है। आगे नंबर 21, अल मुत्तकी मुज्तहिद वल मुहिब्ब मुत्तकिल वल आरिफ साकिन वल मौजूद मफकूद। पता नहीं क्या कह रहे हैं। ला सुकून लि मुत्तकीन वला अज़्म लि मुहिब्बिन वला हरकत लि आरिफिन वला वजूद लि मफकूदिन। मा तहसुलुल मुहब्बत इल्ला बअदल यकीन। अल मुहिब्बु सादिक क़द खला क़ल्बुहु मिम्मा सिवाहु वमा दाम अलैहि बक़ियतु मुहब्बतिन लिसिवाहु फ़हुव नाक़िसुल मुहब्बत। कल पढ़ेंगे। सुभानअल्लाह बिहम्दिही सुभानअल्लाह मशकुरुल्लाह नस्तग़फ़िरुह। परवरदिगार आलम हमको भी इन सूफियों की बरकत से अपनी मारिफत का एक शिम्मा और ज़र्रा ही नसीब फरमा दीजिए तो आपका बड़ा करम होगा। आपकी ज़ात के साथ ज़ाती ताल्लुक़, आपकी ज़ात तक वसूल, आपकी सही कामिल निस्बत हम सबको नसीब फरमाइए। हमको अहले बातिन में से बना दीजिए या अल्लाह। हमारी हर हरकत और हमारी हर सोच और हमारा हर मूवमेंट ये आपके ज़रिए हो और आपके हुक्म से हो और आपके ज़रिए हो। या अल्लाह ऐसा हमको बना दीजिए। या अल्लाह हमारे हर काम में खैर मुक़द्दर फरमा दीजिए। अल्लाह हर हाल में आपकी ज़ात की तरफ मुतवज्जह रहने की तौफ़ीक़ अता फरमाइए। या अल्लाह हर हाल में आप पर तवक्कुल कामिल अता फरमाइए और हमारी हर परेशानी, हर बला और हर मुसीबत को दफ़ा फरमाइए और हर हाल में हमारे हक़ में खैर के फैसले फरमाइए। अल्लाह हमें जो बेचारे परेशान हैं, या अल्लाह किसी वजह से परेशान हैं, बीवियों की वजह से परेशान है, कोर्ट केस की वजह से परेशान है, या अल्लाह कोई और तकलीफ़ है, या अल्लाह माल दौलत का मसला है, जॉब का मसला है, बिज़नेस का मसला है, मदरसा चलाना है, मदरसा चलाना बहुत प्रॉब्लम पड़ रहा है, या अल्लाह इन सारे प्रॉब्लम को आप दूर करके हमको सुकून इत्मीनान क़ल्ब नसीब फरमा दीजिए और हमें हर काम सोच समझ कर आपके हुक्म के मुवाफिक और मुताबिक करने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। हमारी टूटी फूटी दुआएं सुन लीजिए। रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम व तुब अलैना इन्नका अंतत तव्वाबुर रहीम व सल्लल्लाहु व सल्लिम अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन बिरहमतिका। आराम कर लो थोड़ी देर।